So the implications of climate change for society, for humans, are really wide-ranging, and because climate change is already happening, we're already seeing a lot of the impacts. So one of the key ones is through water, either having too much of it, through flooding. So one of the things that a warmer world has is more intense rainfall in some areas, so we have flooding issues where it's often already wet. And in other parts of the world where it's dry, they tend to get drier, and so we have drought impacts, and that obviously has a knock-on effect in terms of food supply, food security, migration of populations because either they're flooded from their homes or there's just not enough to eat. They would be some of the most obvious ones in terms of climate change changing the availability of water. But there are so many, I guess all of human society, all our systems, all the sectors are vulnerable to climate change in different ways. So you've got sectors like transport, for instance, in terms of just getting from A to B, whether it be a road being flooded, whether it be a landslide blocking the railway line. All these sectors are vulnerable to a changing climate. And if we look at things like human health, for instance, obviously you have the direct impacts of floods and droughts affecting malnutrition and human health through that way. But one of the things we get through a changing climate is changes in vector-borne disease, so things like mosquitoes, things like the Zika virus. Again, the things which we're having to deal with now as kind of human health challenges. Climate change can change the rate at which those diseases are transmitted. It can change the ranges, like I say, of the mosquitoes. And so populations, people who previously were okay, they were in areas where they didn't have malaria, now can become more vulnerable to malaria moving into where they live. So these kind of human health issues are kind of indirectly related to climate change, but a real challenge in the coming decades.